Hey everybody, time for the Survivor Series review. The show ended about an hour and a bit ago. Sorry, I took a selfish moment to watch The Walking Dead. Shameless plug for a show that has nothing to do with wrestling, but yeah, I would have had the video up an hour ago. Getting right down to it, DiBiase versus Daniel Bryan. Match kind of came out of nowhere, kind of like a lot of matches on the show tonight. That's my one comment for the entire pay-per-view. Is it was kind of feels like it was thrown together at the last minute. But DiBiase got a real good time to shine in this match against somebody like Daniel Bryan, who's a great worker. Who I've compared him a lot to Chris Benoit, and Chris Benoit, in his own time, did a lot for making other people look really, really good. I love this match. We got away from paying attention to Maurice and all her bullshit and whatever, and sort of sold the rising aggression of Ted DiBiase at the same time. Daniel Bryan didn't lose any steam. Bryan won the match, which didn't hurt him at all. Didn't hurt Ted DiBiase at all either. He looked really good. Of course, continuing the whole Daniel Bryan Miz thing. Of course, Miz has to sit there with the briefcase in the entranceway and attack Daniel Bryan just to be like, hey, I don't actually have a spot on this pay-per-view, but I'll come out just to be a dick. Like I said, that match kind of came out of nowhere. DiBiase kind of came out last week on Raw and just sort of smacked him in the head and said, hey, guess what, I'm coming for your title, except he didn't win, which is good. Daniel Bryan looks good with the belt. Let's keep it on him for a bit longer, but DiBiase's finally rising up, which is also cool. Sheamus versus Morrison. This match kind of proves things are kind of going in a good direction in WWE. Finally, Sheamus, who never really deserved to be in the spotlight, has been knocked out of the spotlight, out of the title picture, and Morrison is on his way up, using what little notoriety Sheamus did get when he was in the main event picture. He's basically passing it on to Morrison. Morrison is also getting a lot more aggressive and a lot more, I don't know what to say, a lot more gritty. Would be the way I want to put it. I don't know. Morrison obviously goes in there and does his high-flying parkour type stuff, but in this there was a lot of brawling and a lot of, I don't know. He's diversifying, which is going to skyrocket him right to the top where he should already be, in my opinion. Quick win for Morrison. Like I said, beating Sheamus, who shouldn't have been in the main event picture to begin with, but it's going to definitely springboard Morrison to the main event where he should be. Then we have a little altercation between R-Truth and John Cena in the back. But R-Truth has really introduced himself into this whole Cena Nexus thing and given everybody something to think about, because he seems like he's just stirring the pot, which leads me to believe that he's going to take a heel turn, which I don't think will work, because R-Truth as a heel won't work. People love him too much. That's about it. He's not gonna. People aren't gonna want to boo him. Unannounced match, as far as I knew, was Caval and Ziggler, which leads me on one really good path. I watched Caval when he was Loki and Senshi and whatever the hell else he called himself in TNA. I know this guy is good. This guy's like X Division, to a T, bringing some of that to the WWE, which is awesome. It's also pushing the guys from NXT who aren't dragged into the Nexus story, which is good. We didn't have a whole lot of Vicky Guerrero in this match, which was awesome because it really let Ziggler shine as well. These guys had a really amazing match, really athletic, really diverse, really, Ziggler's coming along. Caval is finally showing what he can do as opposed to being on the losing streak that he was on. Michael Cole ruined this match by being an idiot about Vicky Guerrero the whole time. It's really creepy and wrong, and like I've said in other videos, Michael Cole needs to go away. Any chance of him being a legitimately respected commentator at WWE has gone into the toilet. At one point, this is where the match was going to end, I thought, and if you saw this match, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a very intriguing sort of handspring somersault into a knee to the face on Ziggler from Caval, which was great, which a couple seconds later was followed by Ziggler holding him up on the top ropes in a sleeper, which you know isn't going to do anything because it's going to be broken in 5 seconds, and just makes me say why. Caval looked amazing in this match. Ziggler just, he didn't. Caval didn't win the match. He just looked amazing, and Ziggler didn't lose any steam because he still has the belt. He needs to get rid of Vicky, etc., etc., etc. The only Survivor Series match in this card was kind of thrown together out of nowhere, out of all the guys that they're currently trying to push on SmackDown that really didn't have a storyline. It stretches out the whole, it was Team Del Rio versus Team Mysterio, which just stretches out that rivalry, which has already run its course, I think. We got a big crowd pop for MVP, who was on Team Mysterio, because it was in Miami, and he was the hometown guy, which is awesome, except he was the first one eliminated. There's a good way to piss off your crowd. Couple funny moments in this match. Del Rio was in against the Big Show, and he tried to tag in, Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre laughed and backed off and said, "There's no way I'm getting in there with him. You go deal with him," which I thought was, I don't know, gave a lot of legitimacy to the imposing figure that is the Big Show. Cody Rhodes and his dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick bullshit, and he got punched in the face by somebody. I don't remember who it was, because this was such a stupid spot in the match. He ran out of the ring, grabbed his jacket, grabbed his mirror out of his jacket to check his face, make sure his pretty face was okay. It really just made the whole integrity of the match go down the toilet, because then 5 seconds later, after he's done checking his face, he runs back into the ring and gets plowed in the face by Big Show and gets eliminated. It shouldn't surprise anybody that Rey Mysterio's team won. Rey Mysterio and the Big Show obviously were the last survivors. Laycool versus Natalya in a handicap match for the Divas belt. I'm rushing a little bit just to make sure I don't have to do this video again. WWE has finally done something right. I really, really hoped that they were going to put the Divas title, even if it is the Divas Butterfly title, which even if it's going to be that stupid belt, I'm glad that they put their Unified Women's title on somebody that actually deserves it. It was a very short match. Basically Natalya Neidhart, pounding the crap out of both of them, getting a quick submission win. They try to double team her after the match, and they have the grand return of Beth Phoenix, which I really hope leads to Beth Phoenix versus Natalya, and I hope they save it for WrestleMania. That's all there is for that. Kane versus Edge for the World Heavyweight title. You all who have seen my videos before know that Kane is permanently on that list of wrestlers that I don't give a shit about, like Sheamus, like, I don't know, Finlay, Big Show most of the time, JBL when he was around. Do we care? The addition of Paul Bearer being back in the storyline, do we really care? Now, to contrast that, with Undertaker being gone, Edge owns SmackDown. There is no debating that. Saying Edge owns SmackDown is tantamount to saying Randy Orton owns Raw, which is also true. So he got a title shot, and I think that was amazing. I thought it was a gimme that they would give him the belt. Did they choose a really lame storyline to get him there? He kidnaps Paul Bearer and takes a bit of the focus off the fact that it's a championship belt and match, and makes it more about the fact that he kidnapped Paul Bearer. This storyline is lame, yes. But I thought, okay, they're going to give him the belt, which is awesome, and that'll make me happy. They even had Edge come down to the ring with an empty wheelchair, which is supposed to symbolize Paul Bearer, which, again, was, somebody I really like being forced into a really lame storyline. Edge looked great in this match. Edge usually does look great. This was a very, very enthusiastic Edge. This was Edge from back in the TLC days. Unfortunately, all this does is point out the slow, lumbering nature of somebody like Kane. But give Edge some credit, he can even make Kane, who's coming across like that, look somewhat good. There's nothing specific I can say about this match. The whole match looked good, thanks to a lot of work from Edge. There was a really sloppy spear, which I thought would end the match, and end the whole Kane bullshit. But he fell backwards on Kane, and Kane lifted up a hand on him, and he put a hand on Kane, and the ref said, no, it's a double pin, which means it's a tie, which means Kane keeps the belt, which was a really lame way to end a really decent match. We have another promo. Okay, I'm running out of time. Great. We have another promo between Cena and Barrett in the back. Barrett does a monologue. Cena just says, oh, well, one way or the other, I'm going to kick your ass at the end of this match, and because of the whole free or fired. I'll get to that. Next, we have a match that should not have been on a pay-per-view card at all. This match, I wouldn't even put this on a Monday Night Raw episode. This was Slater and Gabriel from the Nexus defending the tag titles against Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov. This was filler. This was Santino acting like an idiot on the apron for an entire match, while Vladimir Kozlov got double-teamed for an entire match. Quick pin at the end, waste of pay-per-view time, in my opinion. We get to the quote-unquote main event, which was Barrett Norton, but this match wasn't about Barrett Norton, or it wasn't about the WWE title for sure. This was all about what would John Cena do as the referee, and would The Miz cash in his Money in the Bank. That's what everybody was talking about. The fact that Barrett Orton or the title were in this match was an afterthought. So I had low expectations going in. The match was very, very rudimentary and average, and whatever. Back and forth, a little bit of a brawl. Here's Cena proving, oh my god, I'm going to give a proper count to you, and a proper count to you, and I'm going to be the good guy, and da-da-da-da-da. Eventually, he pushes Barrett into Orton. Orton RKOs Barrett, gets the pin. Cena is now fired. I don't know where we go with this, because I don't know if he's actually going to be fired, or the guest general manager is going to come on Raw tomorrow night and say, hey, we can't fire you, you make us a lot of money, or he's going to get traded to SmackDown or something. I didn't have any respect for this match at all, because these guys, if they're fighting for the world title, these guys, supposedly, by saying that they're fighting for the world title, they're saying these are the two most important guys on Raw, and they're not. Wade Barrett is, like, pre-bought himself a ticket to my I don't give a shit list. People say he's great at promos, that's awesome. People say he's a great basics wrestler, and I guess I'll give him that, but he doesn't do anything in the ring that makes me give a shit. There's nothing about him, his character, his storyline that makes me give a shit. In fact, I'm going to finish talking about this match, and I'm going to say something in general right now. If you took him and Heath Slater out of Nexus, I would be a fan of Nexus, because you're left with David Otunga, who a lot of people are really hard on, but I love watching him. I think the way his attitude is and the way he is in the ring, he's going to maybe not be as good as The Rock, but he'll be the next Rock-ish character. Justin Gabriel, I've already said, should go out on his own, because he'd be amazing. He and Caval and, I don't know, Daniel Bryan, Evan Bourne could go start a cruiserweight division / X division in the WWE. Just throw in, Kofi Kingston, Rey Mysterio. You could have a hell of a set of smaller guys doing amazing things, but WWE is not doing that. Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy could be great individually. Because they came into Nexus together, I'm pretty sure they're going to have them, buddy, hip and hip and all that. I don't think they need to be. Husky Harris, I'm not a small guy. I can appreciate Husky Harris. Husky Harris is going to bring something great to the WWE eventually, if they're not stupid enough to let him go first. That's it. I had planned on this video being the first video where I was going to announce who my MVP of the night is. No pun intended. But I really can't do that, seeing as I have a three-way tie. My three-way tie for MVP of this pay-per-view: Caval, Morrison, and Edge. Edge made Kane look good. Caval made Ziggler look even better than he already does, and Morrison just skyrocketed by plowing through Sheamus. The next WWE pay-per-view we have is TLC, which is 3 days before my birthday, if any of you care. So I hope WWE sends me an early birthday present and gives me a decent pay-per-view. TNA has something coming up on the 5th. That'll be the next time I talk to you guys. So until then, I've been Spaz. If you like what you hear, the subscribe button's up there. Comment down there if you like it. Tell your friends. And I will talk to you later.